Good afternoon, everybody. Safe Fossey here, and I am back for Season 30 Wars. I took a couple seasons off of recording Wars and uploading them, simply due to all the issues that Kabam was having with the parry bugs and things like that. So here we are. This is going to be 2 Loki versus iBrg. I'm on Path 9, using a team of Mephisto, Spiderman 2099, and Angela. So first couple fights I've speeded up a little bit simply because they are Mephisto fights. One thing I forgot to do before coming into the fights was turn back on suicides, so they just take a little bit longer than possible. They're very safe. This lane is kind of built for Mephisto. He works very, very well on it. So, really the idea on this first fight was just to get to my special 3 when Stryfe had 2 bars of power. At that point, throw my special 3, drain his power, have my aura up, and just increase my damage output there a little bit. Gonna throw another special 3 here just because I was sitting at it. And this fight's pretty much over. I was not concerned about this fight very much at all. Gonna go ahead and just bait out one more special 1. Parry, wait till his invisibility's gone, throw my special 2, finish that one off, and move on to the next fight. Next one up is going to be a Cosmic Ghost Rider. One thing I did forget as well going into this fight is, of course, Cosmic Ghost Rider is Incinerator immune, and this node does have Power Focus 1. I was still thinking for about half this fight, okay, let's see if we can get him to a special 2, which I do from time to time with champs on this node, and then I can drain it and have the aura up for a little additional damage. Like I said, I forgot that he's Incinerate immune. So you can see here, okay, got to the special 3. I'm really just going to try and be very aggressive, keep him in the corner. And right about here, I remember, oh, okay, he's immune since my aura had triggered. So, not really a whole lot of reason to hold on to the special 3. So going to go ahead and toss that off. And then from here, I'll use special 2s just to increase my damage output a little bit, increase my power gain, be able to throw more specials, things like that. So really from here, between the power focus on the node and the resistor on the node, this is just a slow fight. You can see I'm up to 71 hits. This ends up around 80 some. There we go, 81 hits. Just kind of a slow, boring fight, but at the same time, it's safe. No real issues there at all. So we're going to move up to Tigra, which has of course, Hazard Shift in it now, has Blood in the Water, and Power Bond. And I had, kind of the theme for this war is I'd forgotten this node had Power Bond on it. So you'll see here, I'm going to kind of go with my Mephisto plan. Okay, let's go ahead and just fight like normal. Let's get her up to her special 2, and I'm going to throw my special 3. About here, I remembered that it had Power Bond, and I was starting to get worried that it was going to throw her to her special 3. Fortunately, it didn't. Able to bait out the special 2, avoid all the unblockable hits. And at this point, I'm figuring, okay, this is going to be my last fight with Mephisto in this war. Just get through it safe. Take some extra chip damage. Don't try to, punish too much. Just parry, 5-hit combo, throw a couple special 2s, and then get through the fight as clean as we can. And you can see I'm going to finish about 85% health. Really, first 3 fights, great way to start the season, feeling pretty good. No damage, no hits taken, and we're going to move on. Now, this is the first fight that I get to use Spiderman 2099. I have not used him in war before, so this is kind of new. I know he's ideal and really meant for killing Mojos, and this node, fits right in with his kit. It's got Power Snack, so if I were to gain a buff, it would feed Mojo's power bar. It's got backup recovery, so at 50% he's going to gain a lot of power. But fortunately, Spiderman 2099 doesn't gain any buffs, so I don't have to worry about that. And with the special 2, he has a Wither debuff, which is going to drain that power that they get automatically. So right there, I tried to punish a heavy 8 and L1, but unlike most of the Spider-Man characters, Spidey 2099 is a tank. He can handle damage pretty well. So, at this point, I've got him down to about 62%. Just going to bait out a special. I want to get one more Wither on him before I hit that backup recovery mark. And there we go. So you can see here the power bar is actually going down a little bit until I start hitting into him. So, works very, very well on this node. Up to 83% because of some adrenaline healing. At this point, I know I'm just going to bait special 1s, throw another L2 if I get there, Very, very easy fight with, Spidey 2099. Very, very happy I, was able to pull this guy, awaken him, and take him to rank 3. He's going to come in very, very handy during this war season. And here we go. So we're just now going to get to our special 2. We're going to throw one more special 2, and that's going to finish him off. So that wraps us up in section 1. No big issues there. We're going to move on to our section 2 fights. And once again, I'm on path 9. I've got 2 fights over there that I'm going to take. And the first one up is going to be, Black Widow, Deadly Origin. On this, I figured, okay, my Mephisto's in pretty good shape. I'm going to use him. It gives me that, emergency heal if I happen to get hit. And my concern was, since this does have one eye open and window of opportunity, was if I accidentally stunned her, she does a lot of damage pretty quick, even beyond, an invulnerability boost. So I figured with that emergency heal with 5 charges on him, if I came in and tried to counter a heavy and she parried me, which, when in my practice happened quite often, or if I don't evade far enough back and I take, a hit, I'm going to have that emergency heal, so a little bit slower fight using him. Wasn't originally what I planned. I planned on using Angela for this fight. Once again, mainly just for her heal ability, because I fight these, the window of opportunity nodes very, very cautiously. I let them hit into my block a lot. I don't want to do anything crazy and get, miss an intercept or something like that and cost my alliance a death. So this just kind of played into what I wanted to do. I can take all that chip damage, let her hit into my block, and I know that if I do get down low enough, he's going to heal back up to almost full because of the 5 charges. At this point, I am very, very comfortable with this fight. And there we go. We're going to throw off the special 2 to finish her off, and we're going to move on to the next fight on the path, which is actually an rank 5 Emma Frost. And this is the reason I brought Angela. Angela's got the armor breaks on her specials, so I was going to be able to take Emma out of diamond mode and be able to do a little bit more damage. Did forget to throw on my invulnerability boost before this fight, and fortunately it didn't cost me. This was, ended up being a lot closer than what it was supposed to be. Beginning of the fight, going just like I had planned. What I tend to do with Emma is, just push her barely over a bar of power, and then I want to bait her special 1. I'm very comfortable evading her special 1, and of course, able to stun her at times when the window of opportunity stun isn't up. So, here we go. Going to bait a special 1. We're going to go ahead and back off here, get her to throw another one. 5-hit combo, special 1, get the armor break on there. And, here at this point, perfect fight going. Exactly what I wanted it to be. She's at roughly 50%. I'm in good shape with my health. Just going to kind of continue the pattern. Not sure why I didn't throw a special 1 there, and then somehow I accidentally parried her. And you can see take 8 hits right away, down to 40%. She's got her special 2. Late on getting the counter to her special 2, and really okay. Just taking a couple seconds there to reset, try and get this fight back to where I wanted it to be. Evade the L1. We're going to go in. And there she goes. There she parried. Fortunately, somehow I was able to get a block off in between a couple of her hits. And I'm just praying at this point that my special 3 will finish her off. Fortunately, it does. That fight ended up a lot closer than what I had ever thought that it was going to be. I kind of took it for granted. It was a rank 5. It was going to be fairly straightforward, fairly easy. But, did get full attack bonus. And so far for the season, no deaths. That one was a little closer, though, than I wanted it to be. This fight was late at night. I wasn't originally supposed to take this, but due to the timing issue with where war is starting much earlier now than it used to be, I was afraid that some of our folks that are on the West Coast weren't going to be available in the morning to make their runs through Boss Island, so I just go ahead and heal up Mephisto and take him into this ManThing fight. This was kind of fun. This was one... on this node, it's got the vigorous assault, so once he gets below 50%, if he does get that heal, he's going to be unblockable. You know, it's now got Safeguard on it as well. So, you know, Mephisto works very well here. You know, plan once again, like with my other Mephisto fights, is I want to get him up to his special 2. I want to throw my special 3 so I have my aura so I can do that additional damage for the fight. There we go. We've got the, you know, special 3 off. That'll drain his power. I'll have my aura, and at this point, I am very, very comfortable the rest of this fight. I don't think there's any issues. Even with him getting his heals, you know, I'm comfortable with ManThing and his animations and, you know, being able to evade his specials. So, you know, both the special 1 with the arm that moves in slow motion as he throws it, you know, I don't have any problems there evading that most of the time. And we're in really good shape. You know, I get the armor break on there, so I'm getting a little additional willpower healing, which is very nice to have. You can see it's just topping me up. You know, I'm up to 93% health, 94. He's down to 33%. He does have his regen going now, though, so he is unblockable at this point. So we're just going to toss off a special 3. It's not going to do any damage. I just didn't have an opportunity to throw any of my other specials in there to, you know, do more damage. You know, we get a special 1, get a couple of incinerates on him. Able to parry at this point because he's got no regen going. You know, get a special 2 off. You know, the only the issue that I have with Mephisto is when he does have that aura up, you know, he gains power so fast. You know, it's sometimes hard to get specials off, you know, in the right time. And there we go. So he's got his regen up again. I'm able to go ahead and get him to throw a special 1. You know, and I'm just going to hit into his block a couple times, let my aura do the damage to finish him off. And there we go. So that is the Safeguard Vigorous Assault mini down. Now that was supposed to be the end of my war. They did place a Magneto Boss. Our first person in had a little issues there. You can see, you know, he only took off about 100,000. I was like, well, you know, Spidey 29 should be able to handle it. You know, I haven't used him on this fight, haven't used him against a boss. Like I said, first war with him, so I boosted big, threw on, you know, as big a boost as I could, threw on the science boosts, and a power start 1, because my plan was to get to a special 3 and get the slow debuff on him so I could bait heavies. You know, didn't really want to have to focus on intercepting Magneto. I can do it. I'm just not good at it. Things like that can happen. You can see I took a 5 or 4 hit combo there. But because of the True Strike on the node, Spidey has the damage reduction. So I knew coming into it, I was going to be able to take a few hits. So, you know, I can play this one a little riskier than I probably normally would. You know, I normally wouldn't push him to a special 2, but you can see they're blocking that. Really didn't do too much damage. You know, and really at this point, just trying to get up to the special 3. You know, I'd like to call that an intentional, you know, miss on an intercept so that he could hit me and push my power up. But, you know, it wasn't. But it got the job done. You can see it did very little damage to me. At this point, I've got a slow debuff on, so I can bait heavies. You know, and this now does have the, you know, the altitude buff. He's up to 3 charges on it. And, you know, even with 3 charges on that, you know, when he does hit in my block, because of the power or the damage reduction, it doesn't really hurt too bad. You know, you can see I am at roughly 70%. I'm winning the, you know, the race of the power meter. You know, he's down at 47%. You know, really, I don't want to be taking these into the block if I can help it. But, you know, if I have to, I have to. You know, able to block that special 2. Really, at this point, my goal is to throw my special 2 because the slow debuff does count as 4 unique. So it would have some good extra damage in there. And there we go. There's my opportunity to throw it. You can see that does a big chunk of damage. At this point, you know, I'm fairly comfortable with the remainder of the fight. You know, it's where I want it to be. Really wish my slow would have lasted a little bit longer to give me a few more openings. Do take a couple more hits, but, you know, and for some reason tried to counter as heavy. Knew I shouldn't, but, you know, his hitting into me isn't really doing that much damage because of the power reduction. You know, and here we go. We do get the slow on. It's going to take him down to 7%. You know, I just have to bait out 1 more special or something along those lines to get in there. We're down to 4%. He throws his heavy, and I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, I should be able to finish him off with a special 1. And there we go. So, fairly comfortable fight. You know, took a little bit more damage than I would like, but able to get through with the remaining attack bonus in place to finish off this war. You know, you can see I took 14 hits. he is a tank on that node. Perfect counter in there. And as you can see here, we did pull out the victory. As typical to Loki style, in our first war of the season, we had a lot more deaths than we should. But, we had 22. They had 28. It was a good war overall. Able to start the war season off 1-0, which is always a good start. It's, always nice to win that first war of the season. The stats so far this year, like I said, 2 Lokis, 1-0. I'm at 8 kills, 0 deaths, which I would love to keep up, but I'm sure there are deaths to come. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.